About the halachos of Yom Kippur, is any particular subjects you want to ask about? If not, I'll just go and say there Yom. Friday morning, Shacharis is no tach. From Friday morning until the end of Tishrei is no tachna. There's no mizmer l'sayda on Yom Kippur also. There's no Avinu Malkeinu either. Friday. And Yom Kippur also. Yom Kippur also, besides Nil, yeah. After Shacharis, the Gabi gives lakach, and there's an Indian to ask for it and to eat from it. The reason that's given is in case there's a gzeira on the person that he needs to come on to somebody else's, to ask for money during the year, he should be able with this. It's a mitzvah to eat and drink in Erev Yom Kippur, like the amount of 2 days, Erev Yom Kippur and Yom Kippur. You're not allowed to fast in Erev Yom Kippur. There's usually 2 meals that we do. 1 meal in the morning, 1 meal for the Suda Mafsekas. The minhag is, first of all, there's certain things we don't eat in Erev Yom Kippur for 2 reasons. Certain things we don't eat because we don't want to be, fully satisfied at the time Yom Kippur comes around. You don't want to feel full. Yom Kippur is a serious day, so you don't eat things that are hard to digest, like meat. You don't eat like chicken or fish. Another thing is certain things we don't eat because that we don't want any tumah to happen by night. So during Yom Kippur by day, Erev Yom Kippur by day, we only eat fish or chicken, even in the morning. In the morning, it's brought down it's a mitzvah to eat fish. Suda Mafsekas, we don't eat fish. It's customary not to eat fish by the Suda Mafsekas. It's a minhag to eat kreplach, Erev Yom Kippur.
Both of them.
I don't know if it's ma'akev either way. Now, we don't eat eggs, we don't eat garlic the whole day. We don't eat milchiks you could eat in the morning, but not in the afternoon, not by the Suda Mafsekas. Suda Mafsekas, we don't eat anything spicy, anything that heats up the body. It's also customary not to have salt in the foods of the Suda Mafsekas. One simple balabatish reason, they don't want to get thirsty on Yom Kippur. Also, we don't eat sunflower seeds on Erev Yom Kippur because during Yom Kippur it'll be coming back up. It's Indian to invite people, particularly poor people, to join your meal on Erev Yom Kippur, particularly Suda Mafsekas. So we eat 2 meals. The first meal is usually done more bar chava, the second meal is usually done later on during the day. After the meal in the morning, so then there's the whole avodah for Mincha Erev Yom Kippur. So the first thing is Malchus. Minhag Chabad is that we have Malchus before we go to the mikveh Erev Yom Kippur. When we do Malchus, we don't, you've seen it being done, you go down on your, not laying on the floor, but you go down on your hands and your knees, your face soften, you face north. You use best thing to use is a ritzua, a belt, or something that's made out of leather from an eagle, from a calf. Also, that whatever brings down, it says that Navi says that Yada Shor Kineyu, that a ox knows its maker. So it's a musa yishlum that even an animal recognizes its master. So we do like Malchus, we don't do what they used to do those days.
That's why the wives don't do it.
You alternate, go to the right shoulder, the left shoulder, in the middle. 39 in total, and we say B'hurachim 3 times. Our meaning is that both the one that gives Malchus and the one that gets the Malchus says B'hurachim 3 times.
Which way do you start? You start
from the right shoulder, right, left, center. Afterwards, you go to the mikveh. Now, on going to the mikveh in Erev Yom Kippur is like this. Really, there's different opinions when you should go to the mikveh. Some people say you should go before mincha, because by mincha we say vidui, by mincha we say the al-chet, and we should say al-chet in purity. So others that say that it's better to go after the Suda Mafsekas. Peil mamish, minig reiv oelam is we go before mincha. By Chabad, a lot of people go again after Suda Mafsekas as well. For those that go before Kaparis, before Shacharis as well, some people go 3 times to the mikveh of Yom Kippur. But mikveh didn't only have to go once. There's different reasons why we go to the mikveh of Yom Kippur. One reason is mitzvah tara, to be pure. Another reason is similar to a ger. A ger that converts, he has to go to the mikveh. So when we're coming, Yom Kippur, we're doing tshuva, like, converting back to Judaism, so we go to the mikveh. So because of that reason, we do at least 3 times. Because of the second reason of tshuva, we dip at least 3 times. We should make sure there's no chatzitza, nothing on the body that's a problem. If somebody can't go to the mikveh, so you could pour on him tisha kabin. It's a bit hard to do it.
Shower.
You could take a shower. The simplest thing to do is to take a shower. A few minutes in the shower, the shear you should have poured on, it's about 12.5 liters of water.
I get away with mikveh.
I
do that every day instead of going to mikveh.
The truth is, this is only for the reason of tada. So the reason of tshuva, you dafka should go to a real mikveh. Somebody that can't go, at least you do the tisha kabin. We put on Shabbos clothes before mincha already. When we come to shul before mincha, we give tzedakah. Everybody knows our minhag is says the Baal Shem Tov said that from the sound of the coins shaking, all the klippas, spread up, go apart. Mincha is one. Is important tefillah of Yom Kippur. We daven mincha, barichas. At the end after the first Yom Ratzon, we go to. If you go to train machzor, and you already have printed mincha for Yom Kippur. But if you have a regular siddur, you go to the Shemoneh Esrei of Yom Kippur. So you have after the Yom Ratzon, you have the whole al-chet, the whole vidui, and you're supposed to stand when you're saying it. It's best to hunch over a bit, and we clap al-chet, Hashem and everything. If you forgot to say it then, you can say it after Shemoneh Esrei. You're supposed to say it standing. The Chazan does not repeat it by Chazaras Hashams on Erev Yom Kippur. Then there's the Sudam Afsekas. Sudam Afsekas, just like in the morning, we dip the hamoitzi in honey. Again, we only eat, chicken, the things that are easy to digest. Nothing spicy. We don't eat fish. We don't eat milchiks. Whatever, and so on. You have to make sure, people that are running late, so you have to make sure at least to eat a kazayis, that you should be able to eat in bench. If you're going to eat less than a kibbeh, than an egg, you can't say until the sedayim. But some people that are running very, very late, at least they should have a minimal shear. You have to stop before shkia. Now, Yom Kippur is like this. The fast, we start a few minutes earlier. And we end later. On the calendars, you'll notice that the fast of Yom Kippur starts a few minutes before Shkia. There's a mitzvah to add Michol al HaKodesh, to add a few minutes.
We learn from Yom Kippur.
The
whole Michol HaKodesh we learn from Yom Kippur.
Yeah. And all the prohibitions of Yom Kippur start from this point in Yom Michol al HaKodesh. Whatever it says, it's Poel Mamish, most people they stop at Lichbenchen, usually 18 minutes before. If a person's going to stop eating his meal and wants to continue eating, it's best that he should make a condition, verbally or at least mentally, that he should be able to continue eating, that by his benching he's not accepting the fast. Then there's Birchas Abonim, you bless your children. The Rebbe used to bench the Bochrim at that point. Another thing is, there's the candles that we light for Yom Kippur. There's every married person lights what we call a lebedik licht, and those that have parents that passed away, they light in their neshama, yortzeit. The lebedik licht, people take to shul. It's a candle that each married person lights. The minhag is they take it to shul, and if people allow to yortzeit licht, they keep it at home.
What's the story with the lake? You done the both?
There's one thing that's for
somebody
a bedroom.
that had what?
In your bedroom to have a light.
That's something else. Klal is supposed to have light. Klal is supposed to bench lift, women bench lift for Yom Kippur. There's a whole discussion whether regular Yom Kippur you have to bench lift. This year Yom Kippur comes out on Shabbos anyway, so in any case you don't have to bench lift. But Bisman Hazeh, we anyway bench lift every Yom Kippur. You're not allowed to have relations with your wife in Yom Kippur, so if they leave the light on in the bedroom for that reason.
To put a licht.
Put a licht, whatever it is. It's important to keep in mind also that there's a concept of when we make Havdalah, Matzah Yom Kippur, we make Havdalah on an Erev Shabbos, make Havdalah on a candle that was burning for 24 hours. So So if you're going to keep, you should at least have, some people light a candle just for Pasha to have a Ner Shabbos. If you're going to make Havdalah at home, you're going to want to have a candle that lasts 24 hours. Shas at Chatz, people say you could use a pilot, you could use the pilot. Today, I don't know if, like electric ovens, no pilots anymore, but you use a pilot light, and like you light up the candle from that, whatever it is. But it's always practical, even somebody to have a candle burning at home, push it for this reason. When we make Havdalah, Motzei, and Kippur, we'll get to that a little bit later. Those that go to the mikveh again after the Sudah Mavsekas, just make sure it's not getting too late. You can't dip into the mikveh once it gets too late.
The candle in shul is supposed to get lost, right?
Candles in shul, the meaning is that they're mixed around. Usually, let's say in 770, you have plenty of people that are doing it for you.
What about a shayna? Does it have to be?
I think the meaning is that, I don't know if it needs to be, but a lot of these things are brought on that if it's easy, even a yard set, it doesn't have to be shayva, but if it's easily available, we use shayva. Different than Yonim, or Kabbalah, or Pirem, is why you have Dafka shayva.
So you like two candles, right? The one.
Every married person likes a candle, and somebody that has parents, they answer say Yiska for he also likes a candle.
But if you have parents, you don't light one at home, you only light one in shul?
Yeah, but there's another union to leave. I know my father would always leave it in the house anyway because he uses it for Abdul.
Yeah, right.
So a lot of people, they light in their house, and
Light
then
for years,
in their
I know that
bedroom.
too.
I must have
They put it in the bedroom, the parents' bedroom, and then use that for Abdullah. That's besides the lichtig one.
Besides the one that they take to shul.
Yeah.
You have to make sure to take off your shoes and everything, when you accept the fast, to take, to have your shoes off when the Zman comes. We wear married people after the first year of their marriage wear a kittel. You put on, you're not supposed to go with the kittel into the bathroom because it's meant for davening. You put on a talis also the night of Yom Kippur, but in order to you only make a bracha on it if you put it on before Shkia. Another thing is that it's brought down that it's best when Shkia comes, you should stand up and say Al Chet again. Whatever brings us different opinions when you're really supposed to say Al Chet. Ideally, we say it by Mincha, but it's best that we should say it when Shkia comes. This Mincha Bad is not Kapit Lachtunim, we say before Kol Nidrei. I think it was Kufi Tess one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, Kufi Tess one of them, so you got some time. So just...
Ashkodami is a little shorter than the day, so...
But, you need time to say it. Take out the Aron, open up the Aron Kodesh, take out 3
Aren't you supposed to talk on Nidra before Shkia?
Pishuch na Rechiu Har, but we're not Medai on it. Mincha Bad is not Medai.
Just talk on Nidra before Shkia.
Shkia is all relative.
And time is Shabbos came in out of the light,
We open up the Aron Kodesh, we take out 3 Sifrei Torah. It's a big mitzvah to buy the first Sefer Torah, whatever. We stand near the Chaz, you don't have to go to the Bima. And then the Chazan said, Abbas HaMokim quiet, just loud enough for the people standing near him to hear it. The Chazan is supposed to say it loud enough just so the people should. What are you saying, Abbas HaMokim? Abbas HaMokim, you're saying that you're making a base and to permit to daven with people that do Avedas. So you're not making a public announcement on cloud.
We're all making Avedas.
We're thinking that everybody that comes to shul is Abra Yonim, so you say it quietly.
You don't understand it anyway.
Huh? You can never know.
I'm not telling to say it.
But Kol Nidrei, everybody's supposed to say, because when you're saying Kol Nidrei, you're nulling, it's similar to Atara Sadarim, you're nulling your vows. And the Alter Rebbe writes, you're supposed to say it loud enough so the people near you could hear you.
Kol Nidrei?
Yeah. And today everybody sings it together out loud. It's not just something that the Chazan is supposed to say. There's a Shechianu that everybody makes. Because we're not making Kiddush, we say Shechianu by night. The women that ben Shlich, it's a mitzvah, the Rebbe says mitzvah lefarsim, you should make it, you should announce or publicize. The women that already ben Shlich shouldn't say Shechianu. Because they already said Shechianu when they ben Shlich. And the way it's done is that everybody's Chazan starts, everybody says Shechianu, and they finish before the Chazan, then the Chazan finishes out loud and they say Amen. Then they return the Sifrei, Torah. Then this year's Kabbalah Shabbos, you have a longer davening, because it's Shabbos, it starts from Mizmor David. By Baruch Shem, we say it out loud. You don't hold the tzitzis, even though you're wearing a tallis, you don't hold it by Shema. And then there's whatever, you look in the matzah, follow the matzah, certain additions we have for Shabbos, afterwards you have Vayechunu, Moginovus is HaMelech HaKadosh again, and Baruch Hu, the extra things that we have for Shabbos. Then there's the 4 Kapitlach Tilim, it says in the matzah to say. Then our minhag is that we say Dol Tilim. The Rebbe would stay in Shul that we say Dol Tilim afterwards. You say Krishma Shalamita, you say Baruch Shem out loud. You don't say Al Chet. Some people want to say Al Chet. So there's a word say only Al Chet as many times as necessary. Altogether it's 10. Together with Chazaras Hashatz is done 10 times total. There's 5 tefillas, each one is Al Chet. Chazaras Hashatz is 10. Before you go to sleep, we say 9 Kapitlach Tilim. In the morning, so there's negel vaser, you only wash until where the fingers connected to the hand. If your eyes are dirty, your face is dirty, you could just rinse off the dirt. But you can't, Yom Kippur, you can't wash your hands for anything else. Going out of the bathroom is a whole thing though. The Rebbe writes that if you're going out of the bathroom and you want to wash your hands and say Asher Yotzar, so during the day you could, because you're usually the whole day you're davening, but after you daven by night, if you didn't get your hands dirty, so this is the whole question, the Alter Rebbe writes you can't wash your hands even to say Asher Yotzar. The Alter Rebbe says you should get your hands dirty in order to be able to wash them, be able to say Asher Yotzar with clean hands. Because Api Halacha, if you went to the bathroom and didn't get your hands dirty, you don't have to wash your hands before saying Asher Yotzar. And in Yom Kippur, you're not supposed to stand wash your hands. So in order to say Asher Yotzar with clean hands, get your hands dirty, whatever. But by day, you don't. The Alter Rebbe says by day you're davening the whole day. So anyway, you're allowed to wash your hands in order to daven b'nikiyas, in order to daven with cleanliness, even if you didn't get your hands dirty. Okay, there's all the prohibitions.
You wash your hands with just the finger.
Just the fingers. The only one that washes their hands fully is the kohen before duchim. No. And in Yom Kippur, there's prohibition of washing unless for dirt. If if a person gets dirty, you can wash that area that's dirty. Anointing, smearing, anything of that sort, even on Shabbos, regular Shabbos would be a problem, but on Yom Kippur, even those things that would be permissible on Shabbos, you're not allowed to. Spraying deodorant would also be usher. Wearing shoes, we don't wear anything that has leather in it. Now, people that need to eat and drink, people that are sick, whatever it is, it's important to speak to a doctor and to a Rav, both together. You need to hear from the doctor what, if and how much, whatever you need to eat and drink, and then the Rav, based on that, on Yom Kippur, usually people that need to eat, usually there's a whole process of shiurim. You eat certain minimal amounts,
Intervals.
Intervals at Yom Kippur, but some people, they need to eat, they can't, so that's why it's important both to speak to a doctor and to a Rav. Children.
Kiddush.
They don't make Kiddush.
You bench?
You bench, you say Yalav Yavai. But if you forget Yalav Yavai, you don't have to go back. You don't say Shasali Kol Tzarki in the morning on Yom Kippur. Davening, look in the Machzor, remember Shabbos, certain additions you say in Shemon Esrei. There's no Avinu Malkeinu. You say Hashem, Hashem, and everything, even though it's Shabbos, by Psicha Sarim for Kriyas HaTorah.
What's it 3 times?
I think it says, huh?
3 times.
Yeah. There's Koirim,
So,
yeah.
Not by all.
Huh?
Not by all.
There's one place you don't go down by Koirim. You see in the Machzor, I'll tell you. After Musaf, we say V'lakachta Seilas. Remember, Shabbos this year. So after Musaf, we say V'lakachta Seilas. After, between Musaf and Mincha, we make at least 3/4 hour break. After Musaf, there's also the 9 Kapitlach Tilim. We don't say Kaveh and Enkel Lekenu after Musaf. But there's the 9 Kapitlach Tilim, V'lakachta Seilas this year.
Mincha starts in Kaddish.
Mincha starts.
Asher Voltzion is by
Yeah, you don't say Asher Voltzion. You say Korbanos. You start Kriyas HaTorah. We don't say Vanis Filasi this year either, even though it's Shabbos. By Mincha, you don't say Vanis Filasi. This is by Yom Kippur.
I've always said that. So look in the Machzor about it.
Yeah.
Once a year.
We read Kriyas HaTorah and then Mafter Yoina.
And what's the school of Mafter Yoina?
Ashiras. Officially.
you have to have a shears to get one.
What does it? Maybe that's why it's a school of Ashiras. After Chazaras Hashatz, we don't say Vino Malkeinu. It's going to be this year because it's on Shabbos. Regular year you would. Then there's the David Hashem Lady. Mincha B'chal we try to make as quick as possible. We don't cut spend Mincha. Then there's Ne'ilah. Ne'ilah starts Chatchila, when a little bit before Shkia. The Aron Kodesh stays open the whole time. And then we say Asher Volitzin. There's a special nusach for Ne'ilah. Mini Chabad is that by Ne'ilah, the only Kaddish, the only Tefillah out of the whole Aseres HaMeshiv that we say Leila, Leila, we call Berchas by Ne'ilah. We say V'chasmeinu, we follow the Machzor, if you said V'chasmeinu, whatever, you don't have to go back. At the end of Ne'ilah we say Avinu Malkeinu, even on Shabbos, because Imla Yachshavemos, I know this is the final moments of Yom Kippur. And you say Chasmeinu, as you'll see, then there's the Shema Yisrael and Baruch Shem and Shem Elokim, Kaddish, Napoleon's March, you blow the Shofar, and the rest, everything. And then there's the last line Kapitel, we say Ma'ariv. We don't take off our talis and kittel for Ma'ariv, but we wear a hat. The Rebbe would put on his hat for Ma'ariv, not to keep on his talis on his head for Ma'ariv. Atachen Antonu. Make sure not to say the things that you're saying Aseres HaMikshuvah. If you said the Malach HaKadosh or Malach HaMishpat, you don't have to go back. But if you said Zachreinu L'chaim, so
you already said Chasmeinu.
Yeah, if you said Zachreinu L'chaim, just Zachreinu L'chaim Malach HaVes B'chaim, just go with Malachoizer Mishiyah Mogin. If you said Chasveinu, so then finish Menesser, but it's best to daven again. Okay.
Is looking to that.
There's Havdalah. Motzei Yom Kippur, there's Havdalah. Every year, Motzei Yom Kippur. Before Kiddush Levan is Havdalah.
Yeah?
Before Kiddush Levan is Havdalah, yeah. The Rebbe Shul, they would always make Havdalah right after before Kiddush Levan.
If you're going home for
if
the
everybody's going to go home to make Havdalah, the won't be meaning for Kiddush Levan.
Obvious.
So, fine. Even though you have whatever, you're supposed to wash Negovasa before and other things.
Yeah.
You wash Negovasa before Kiddush Levan, you go first Kiddush Levan, then you wash.
You're supposed to wash Negovasa before. So you're supposed to put on your shoes also before. Whatever, I mean, if...
When shul, the shoes are not there. The water is there. First you wash Negovasa.
Fine, so the shoes is one thing, but washing Negovasa is something they should...
So wash Negovasa, Havdalah, and then Kiddush Levan.
If you can't make Havdalah because you can't go home, and if the time you're going to come home, there won't be minyan, at least somebody should make him shul Havdalah.
And if you make Havdalah here, can you make for your wife?
No.
But if you have small kids, whatever, for kids, male boys allowed to make Havdalah.
I don't know about mitzvahs, allowed to make for adults?
Adult is allowed to make again Havdalah for male kids that are gil lechinuch, that can't make Havdalah themselves. But he can't make for his wife.
So you made him shul, you can go again.
It says you can't make yourself. 11-year-old should make it then. You can't make for 11-year-old, but for 5-year-old you could.
Other way around.
Why? 11-year-old can make himself
5-year-old, I don't know if a 5-year-old is together with gil lechinuch.
What age is chinuch?
Chinuch really depends on the age of understanding. You understand what Shabbos is all about.
5-year-old has to make kiddush, he understands kiddush, he understands Havdalah.
I don't remember exactly details.
An 11-year-old can make himself, so you can't make for him.
Fine, true. But for whatever reason you can't do it, you can make for him. But for a woman you can't make. As a woman, there's a day that B'chalat Chaim in Havdalah. Now, on a regular Motzei Yom Kippur, we make Havdalah we say B'yidei Moedei Ha'ish. We don't make Besamim. But this year, it's Yom Kippur's on Shabbos, we make Besamim. Now, the fire that we use on Motzei Yom Kippur is very different than the fire we use on a regular Motzei Shabbos. Regular Motzei Shabbos is just like two Havdalah lichter, two matches and two candles and put them together. Motzei Yom Kippur, you have to use a light that was lit for the whole duration of Yom Kippur, and that he did, he didn't do any malacha with it. Nobody lit it when they weren't allowed to light it in Yom Kippur, and he used that light. Now
can you fire from that?
Now the problem is that most candles that you have like that, let's say they're the candles that you go to shul, or neshama candles, so they weren't lit in order to be used for light. They were lit for whatever significance they were, for the family, for neshama, whatever it is. So therefore, you should take light from that candle light a Havdalah candle. When you say B'nai Moriah Eish, use both of them together.
How can you use both of them together?
Well, what's the problem?
The flame.
You put your hands to the Say this, so you put the whatever it is. If you're going to get any light, you get light. If you won't get light, you turn off the light. You might get more light. If you
but you're saying the fires don't have to be together.
No, not the fires together.
Right.
But
you should use both of them.
You use both of them for B'nai Moriah Eish.
To extinguish just the
Yeah,
No, the other one must burn out. Yeah.
The other one, yeah. Now, if you can't do that, the next best option is to light a candle from that candle that burned 24 hours and use it. If you made a bracha on that candle, so the Rebbe writes that, let's say they used to light those days candles in shul, but if you use that, you made B'nai Moriah Eish just in that, your yotze, because they're also lit, they also use the light to daven. But today you have electricity. I don't know how it would be today if you only used, the 24-hour candle. It would even be yotze if you just made B'nai Moriah Eish on that. If you can't use both, at least light a candle from that candle and use that. What happens if a person doesn't have a candle to? Like I mentioned, that Moshe holds you allowed to use a pilot.
If it blew out.
If it blew out, the same problem.
You can relight it?
No, you could relight it, but then you don't have the whole voice. You don't have the. According to Moshe, you can use the pilot light. Those that still have pilot oven with a pilot light, you could light a Havdalah from the pilot light, and then I guess use both together, whatever it is. Even though this year is Shabbos, and a regular Shabbos you'd use, a regular Shabbos we just light a candle. So what happens if you don't have a 24-hour candle or a pilot light, whatever it is? So those that say that since it's anyway Motzei Shabbos, and regular Motzei Shabbos, this year it's Motzei Shabbos, regular Motzei Shabbos you use a regular candle, so you light a regular candle. Al Rebbe's mashma, otherwise mashma that when Kippur comes on Shabbos, you have to make sure to have an Rosh Shabbos. Even though you could say it's Motzei Shabbos anyway, so if worst comes to worst, like use a regular candle, regular Havdalah that it lit right now, Al Rebbe's not mashma. Havdalah we do with the talis and kittel. Before Havdalah, we wash Negelwasser. You don't make a brach when you wash your hands. Koyanim, even though they already washed their hands during the day, Peduchim, they also wash their hands again. We don't make also likal turka when we put back on our shoes. And the minig is that we bless each other with good Yom Tov. We do Kiddush Levana, which, with the talis kittel. Without the talis and kittel, I don't know. Here he brings down,
I think that had to do with the kittel and talis.
The earlier years, they say the Rebbe would do Kiddush Levana after the meal. He used to eat the meal by his mother-in-law. He used to come out afterwards to Kiddush Levana.
By his mother.
When his mother-in-law, before Tavshalan Medalef, until Tavshalan Medalef, he would eat upstairs to Suda after Yom Kippur. So he would come out to Kiddush Levana afterwards. So I guess I don't think he was wearing his talis and kittel at that point already. It's best to wash your face and put on your shoes before. That's what it says. Motzei Yom Kippur, there's a meal. It actually says that one of the things that bring down Gashmius, Parnasa Bar Chava for the year, is having the meal Motzei Yom Kippur Bar Chava.
That's what Jews like to eat.
You eat me a drink and there's a bit of a baskel you like, and
it's not happening.
You dip your dahamotzi in honey, and there's a said that a baskel comes out and says Leichachel b'simcha lachnecha, go eat your bread joyfully. One more thing is Motzei Yom Kippur, at least we speak about building the sukkah.
When could you blow shofar on Motzei Yom Kippur?
Me'ikra then you're allowed to blow during Ben Hashmoshes.
Even Shabbos?
Regularly Yom Kippur is also like Shabbos.
Yom Kippur is like a double Shabbos, so if you do Yom Kippur,
but it seems the B'Pel Mamish, some people tiny that the Rebbe, if it was still a bit early, the Rebbe used to be Meidich and Avinu Malkein on Napoleon's March until it came out until after Tzeis. Because the after was once you blow the shofar, people are just going to run and go and eat. So even though technically you're allowed to blow the shofar, we have to daven Meidav and everything beforehand. But it's best to blow the shofar after Tzeis. But Mikadin, the Rebbe writes, during Ben Hashmosh it's already allowed to blow shofar.
It's like this year Tzeis as well. When can you blow shofar? At what time?
I don't have a calendar with me. So check the calendars.
What's the reason why you have to make it from an existing flame?
Because why do we make B'nai Moriah Eish on Motzei Yom Kippur? The reason why we make B'nai Mereish Matzah Shabbos because Adam Rishon created fire in Matzah Shabbos. Matzah Yom Kippur, the reason why we blessed B'nai Mereish Ha'esh is because since the whole day we weren't allowed to use the fire, and now we could, so the whole point is particularly to use a flame that we didn't use.